taking on Andrei Oрловский. Anthony Johnson with something to prove coming out of Boca Raton, Florida, and the Black Zillions.
The one thing I want fighters, the fans, everybody to know me as is the guy that goes hard and fights hard no matter what. You know, every time I fight, I want to fight like I have nothing to lose. I just want to be the guy that's known to always put on a good show and fight hard as I can. When I went to 205, my body was just like, this is where you belong. I can't keep losing weight. So I finally started listening to people and stopped trying to do what I wanted to do. And it's paid off so far.
10 pounds, 20 pounds, 30 pounds. The weight isn't an issue. Weight means nothing. It's the man. It's the man. And there's not a doubt in his mind that he's gonna go after Oрловский, and he's gonna show people who Anthony Johnson is.
So Anthony Johnson looking to make his second showing here at the World Series of Fighting, coming off an impressive win. Remember, knocking out DJ Linderman.
Yeah, that was nice. That was nice and crisp. It was something like wrong in his eye, remember that? And then Linderman suddenly attacked him. He saw a wounded animal, and then while he did that, it was just like two trains meeting. He met the right hand from Johnson while walking in, and boom.
His opponent tonight will be Andrei Oрловский, 34 years of age. This guy has been around the fight game for a long time. And tonight, though, he meets a very interesting opponent, Anthony Johnson. Andrei Oрловский also looking to go 2-0 the World Series of Fighting.
When I was a champion, I thought it's going to be forever. I'm the best. And people who was around me, he told me, oh, you're the best, don't try hard, let's go party, blah, 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 this and that. And actually I did it. Yes, I admit it, I did it. Now, especially after 4 losses, I choose what's more important for me. Have a nice kind of lifestyle, you know, like party every day. Or now be more responsible person, be more smarter person, be better fighter. And that's why I choose Albuquerque, and that's why I want to move here until I'm going to be done fighting. Great sparring partners, great teammates, great place, great coaches. But first of all, here I'm like for work. I'm here for getting better.
Sorry, Anthony.
I forgot already that I was champion, I was top of the world, I was first or second in the ranks. I forgot about this. I forgot. It's past. I'm in the present, and I'm looking in the future, and I want to be a champion again. But now I hope I'm more smarter than I was before. I have a lot of goals, and I just have to reach them. That's it. Period.
Andrei Oрловский and Anthony Johnson going through final preparations in the locker room. When we return to Atlantic City, the main event, Anthony Johnson and Andrei Oрловский. Back in Atlantic City, World Series of Fighting 2, as we have made it to the main event. It is now time for the official introductions as we set it inside the cage, and Tim Hughes.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the World Series of Fighting cage, Anthony Johnson.
Anthony Johnson, fresh off his defeat of DJ Linderman, a round 1 KO back in November. World Series of Fighting 1, a powerful young man. I think it was interesting, he's moved around so many different weight classes that I think obviously tired of people asking him about that, but he just comes to fight.
That's what he does. Always. You know, and he's never been stopped, you know, by submission, but never by knockout. He had a TKO one time, an eye injury. People go, oh, that's a knockout. It's not, it was an eye injury. But he's never been knocked out. So he's got a strong chin. He's got great wrestling. As I said in the beginning, if he shoots in right away and he starts wrestling, you know, it doesn't matter if he even takes him down or not. You saw what Mirage did. It didn't work to take down, but it got in his head.
No question about it. Anthony Johnson has fought some of the very best, and he seems to have found a home here at the World Series of Fighting. Coming out of fighting with the Black Zillions. 10 submissions of his 19 professional fights. So you certainly know, and you touched on a little bit, he's very good on the ground. He's got very heavy hands. As big as he is, he's extremely athletic and quick.
That's exactly. His losses, though, from Anthony Johnson came by way of submission. And Oрловский, you know, he's a sambo practitioner. We haven't seen it a lot now anymore, but in the past, he has won a bunch of fights by submission. So maybe that would be a good thing for him to do. But trying to take Johnson down, since the wrestler that he is, it's going to be hard.
And here is his opponent, Andrade Oрловский.
Of the store in New Jersey.
Andrade Oрловский, at 34 years of age, he has fought around the world. Former UFC interim heavyweight champion. 19 wins, 9 defeats, 14 submissions coming his way. A wealth of experience coming off that big win over Devin Cole at World Series of Fighting 1. An impressive UFC record of 10-4. But here he is now, making the transition, heading out to Albuquerque, New Mexico, working with Greg Jackson, one of the best in the business.
And that's what you do if you want to get better. He even trained with Freddie Roach. You know, and he's got great hands. The fight against Fedor, he was beating Fedor until he made that mistake, you know, jumping in the air. Jumping in the air is always a dangerous thing to do, because once you're in the air, there's nothing else that you can do anymore.
So it'll be Andrade Oрловский and Anthony Johnson. This will be very interesting, because you think of it on paper, Anthony Johnson probably the better pure finesse athlete, but Andrade Oрловский, with so much experience, he has been in the big fights before. It'll be interesting to see how this one plays out as we take a look at the tail of the tape, brought to you by Boost Mobile. Boost Mobile, be heard. 34 years of age for Oрловский. He stands 6'4", 2 inches taller than Anthony Johnson. And there you see the weight differential here in the heavyweight class. 15 pounds in favor of Oрловский. As we remind you once again, the codes of combat here, the World Series of Fighting, a 10-point must system. 3 judges will score this fight, and it's based on effective striking, grappling, aggression, and cage control. No kicks or knees to the head of a grounded opponent. So all the business is taken care of. This is the main event, and for the official introductions, we send it back inside the cage. Here's Tim Hughes.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your main event of the evening. 3 rounds in the World Series of Fighting heavyweight division. Our judges cage side for this bout: Henry Krawick, Vincent Sinclair, and Carlos Rodriguez. The referee in charge of the World Series of Fighting cage at the opening bell, Kevin Mulhall. And now, Atlantic City, the world is watching. Can you feel it? Both of these big men coming off of decisive knockout victories at World Series of Fighting 1 with a combined 24 knockouts between them. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, a true mixed martial artist, trained in kickboxing and wrestling. His professional record, 15 wins with 4 losses. Standing 6 feet 2 inches tall, he weighed in at 230.5 pounds. Training with the Black Zillions and fighting out of his hometown of Rents, Georgia. Georgia, by way of Boca Raton, Florida, introducing Anthony Rumble Johnson. And now his opponent opposite the cage, fighting out of the red corner, a Sambo fighter, making his way back up the world heavyweight ranks. His record, 19 wins, 9 losses, at 6 feet 4 inches tall. He weighed in at 245.5 pounds, training at Jackson's MMA and fighting out of Minsk, Belarus, by way of Albuquerque, New Mexico. He is the former UFC heavyweight champion, ladies and gentlemen, Andre the Pitbull Oрловский. Once again, your referee is Kevin Mulhall.
Okay, fighters. Okay, guys, you've both been given your rules. Want a good, clean fight. Obey my commands at all times. Defend yourself at all times. If you want to touch gloves, do it now. Come out fighting.
So we are set to go with the main event here from Revel in Atlantic City. This is the main event World Series of Fighting 2. Anthony Johnson going head-to-head with Andrei Oрловский.
Nick, you good? Nick, good? Okay, fighters, are you ready? Are you ready? You ready? Let's fight!
There we go. Knockout experience, you know, percentage. 19 wins for Oрловский, 14 knockouts. 15 wins for Rumble, 10 knockouts. So what they and Rocky would say is simple. Everything they hit, he destroys.
Nice combination,
nice.
Inside kick and then a straight shot.
Yeah, that's a golden oldie as well in Thai boxing. That's training with Tyrone Spong, I guarantee you that. With the Black Zillions. Or of course with Overing.
Two of the premier camps now with Jackson's MMA out of New Mexico and of course the Black Zillions by way of Florida. You see those big punches coming and you're almost glad they're not landing this early in the fight because that much bad intention on the end of that leather, that's going to drop someone quickly.
There's almost no jabs. Everything is powerful. Look at this. Oh, that left hook. If that would have landed.
Yep.
Ay, ay, ay. You can feel it here.
This one's scheduled for 3 rounds in the heavyweight division.
And gonna go 3 rounds.
Anthony Johnson in the red trunks, Andrei Oрловский in the black trunks. Well, for a big man, Oрловский just quick on his feet, but equally as impressive as Anthony Johnson. I mean, those leg kicks answering one with the other over the top of the 6'4" Oрловский.
Yep, it just throws it up there. You know, it's cool when you know that you only have to land a clean shot. The only thing you need to do is set it up in such a way that your opponent can't detect it. And that's it. Well, it sounds really easy, but it's not, of course. Because,
wow, nice combination.
Oh, man. There's a lot of power behind those punches.
Who do you give the hand speed advantage to in this one, Bob? Because it looks like Johnson's got the quicker hands, but then Oрловский comes back with combinations.
Yep, no, I'm with you there. Oрловский really has to watch out when he throws a right straight for the counter left hook of Johnson because it's a murderous weapon there. I like those kicks.
Yep.
You see him more and more often in mixed martial arts. Nice distraction.
Saw in that Moraes Nam fight, it keeps the guy guessing. It keeps your opponent guessing where you're going to come from next.
That's it. And one of those kicks, so to the knee, there's no hip movement whatsoever. You can't tell it's coming. I like to do front kicks like that as well. And maybe you can't knock your opponent out with it, but you distract him. Nice right hook there.
Wow, big shot.
Good defense. And now he goes for a takedown.
Good defense coming from Oрловский. Nice sprawl there up against the cage. Nothing doing.
You see, and this is what I mentioned in the opening. Now he's going to be in Oрловski's head. Even if he doesn't complete the takedown, now he's going to think, okay, he might go for it. Foot stomp. The other commentators say, oh, that's a so effective foot stomp. I've never seen a fight stopped by a foot stomp.
Coming up on 90 seconds of this one, round one, scheduled for 3 here in Atlantic City.
Be busy, guys.
Somebody actually on my Twitter said, are stomps allowed on the hands? And I go, that is a good question. I bet you that's effective.
Absolutely. Well, after 3.5 minutes of very fast pace, Kevin Mulhall has to separate him, bring him back to the center of the cage.
And I think, personally, the longer the fight goes, the more it leans toward Arlovski, because he is in great shape.
Yeah.
Anthony Johnson is 231 pounds, I heard. So that's a lot of weight there. You know, certainly that you carry more.
And this is where Oрловский really can excel. Remember, he's weighs 15 pounds more than Johnson, so just pinning up against the cage and maybe get a little dirty boxing and bring those knees up.
Very smart. Yeah, I love it, you know. I'm all about putting like that asset there. If you're heavy, use that weight. Hang on him. Let him carry you. He only needs to hang now. Doesn't even cost him power. But it will slow Johnson down. And that's something you really want because he's extremely explosive.
Final 10 seconds of round number one.
Oh, that was a short left there by Johnson again. Very powerful.
Good exchange from both men. Gets him to the canvas. And Oрловский down again. And the bell ends it. The bell ends the first round. Was it a stoppage or was it the end of the round?
No. It was not. The fight's not over.
Nope. The bell came before Kevin Mulhall stopped the fight. So literally saved by the bell is Andrei Oрловский. Whoa.
You see, now you understand that 2 seconds in a lifetime can make a huge difference.
Yeah, that fight goes 2 more seconds, and I think Kevin Mulhall puts an end to it. Andrei Oрловский heard the 10-minute warning. It seems like he just lightened up just momentarily, and Anthony Johnson came at him with a flurry.
Seconds out!
Nice reffing by Mulhall.
Greg Jackson talking to his fighter, Andrei Oрловский. Be interesting to see what he said. Meanwhile, it's Anthony Johnson now with a ton of momentum as we get ready for round number 2.
And Oрловский felt the power.
No question about it.
Is that going to be a factor now in his head? You got to shake that off and just don't care.
Round number 2 underway. Anthony Rumble Johnson, who ended that first round with a flurry in the red trunks. Andrei Oрловский in the black trunks. And the big question is, was that time enough for him to clear the cobwebs? Because he got rocked.
That counter left hook. He's got to watch out for that counter left hook.
Johnson's starting to warm up. Finding his mark on Oрловский, and Oрловский decides to tie him up and bring some knees.
Great takedown defense. He needs to peel that hand off from Johnson. He cannot let his hands get locked behind his legs because that could be a takedown. Got a nice wide stance, so it makes it very hard to lock. Because preferably you want to, of course, be behind the knees for leverage.
Let's work!
Ooh, have to watch out for that because that could pick up. That's a one-time deal. You shouldn't do that twice.
What we do in training, you move first.
Don't hold.
Knee.
Well, this is a situation where normally you probably favor Andrei Oрловский. It is the smaller Anthony Johnson now who's got Oрловский pinned up against the cage, and Kevin Mulhall's seen enough. He's going to separate him and bring him back to the center.
Well, we can certainly say it was a 10-8 round, the first round.
Boy, for that last 10-second flurry, though, it was pretty close.
Yep.
Both men scoring points early, but now it looks like Johnson has found his range. And he continues to pepper Oрловский, who seems to be a little off balance, but continues to come back with nice combinations.
The punching power of Oрловский is fading away a little tiny bit. The kicking is still there. That looks explosive. When Oрловski's hitting, his defense is totally gone.
Yep.
You see? And he has to watch out for that counter left hook, I'm telling you. Or the right hook for that matter, because Johnson's right hook has been connected with that weapon as well.
You don't need him, man. Stand up. You're much quicker than him.
Oрловский with good takedown defense goes into that sprawl.
Work. Work. He can't hurt you. Let's say, don't spend any energy, man.
Coming up on 2 minutes to go here in round number 2. This one's scheduled for 3 in the heavyweight division. Anthony Rumble Johnson, winner of that first round, as the last 10 seconds ticked away. He had a flurry rocking Andrei Oрловский in the black trunks. All right, as we hit 145, Boz, going to the corner with Greg Jackson and Andrei Oрловский. What are you telling your fighter as Kevin Mulhall decides to stop the fight momentarily in a low shot, unintentional? Mulhall sends him to a neutral corner.
Well, I think what Oрловский did, tying up, is a smart thing to do because he needs to recoup in his head.
Did not see the low shot. Let's look at it one more time.
Well,
right there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Andres, you gotta stay over here.
Yeah, that's a shot. Now, in case you're wondering, you're new to MMA, they do wear protection down there.
They do wear protection, yes.
That's a heavy loaded knee coming into the sensitive area.
Oof. You know, and everything is painful around this area now. Even body shots you're gonna feel.
Rumble says he's ready to go. And he looks like he's motivated.
Oh,
big time motivated. Rumble bringing the heat.
Man, he is so explosive.
Well, he brought that flurry, and you hear his corner, and they're asking him, why did you do that? Why did you go? Why would you shoot when the man's up against the cage? You're gaining nothing.
Yeah, and he's wasting energy.
Yeah.
You know, he's pulling. And if you pull constantly and suddenly you have to push, and with pushing, I mean punching, that doesn't work really well together. It's like doing a set of curls and then hitting a heavy bag. It doesn't work well.
Interesting how this could play out. Remember in the fight against DJ Linderman back in November, same kind of situation, low shot. Anthony Johnson came out a little angry. We remember how that ended. He got an eye poke and he came out a little motivated. Decided, you know what, I have enough of this. But I have to think that Anthony Johnson really has got to be playing into Andrei Oрловский's favor on this kind of a tactic.
I have no clue why he would do this. And I'm totally with his corner, Anthony Johnson's corner, saying, why are you shooting?
Because his combinations have certainly been finding their home on the chin of Andrei Oрловский. And Rumble Johnson looks like he is getting gassed here.
Yep.
He's still got 10 more seconds in the second round.
He's wasting a lot of energy trying to complete this takedown. And this is going to give a good feeling to Oрловский now.
So we will go to a decisive third and final round here in Atlantic City.
Listen. Why you spend energy there? Hey, you're much quicker, better than him. Why you gonna rest on him? Come on. Why? Listen to your corner. We are not for nothing. You're winning this fight, but stay on your feet.
To the side.
Keep looking what you do. Hands up, AJ. Don't walk into it.
Back in Atlantic City, New Jersey, this is Rebel Ovation Hall. Andrei Oрловский on the right side of your screen in the black. Энтони Johnson on the left in the red. All right, Boz, go to your scorecard. How do you have this one so far?
Right now, I would say Johnson is ahead. He had a 10-8 round. You know, he really did some damage in round number 1, almost finished it. But just before that, round 2, I believe as well.
And if you listen to his corner during that break, it was definitely keep this thing standing, make it a striking war here for the last 5 minutes.
And that's what he should do. He's got all that big power. He should throw it. A nice kick underneath there.
Wow, he's rocking Oрловский.
Yep.
And once again, goes into his corner and drops his head, and his corner men are so frustrated.
You know, I think we can't tell, but he probably is tired as well.
Yep.
And he tries to take a break as well.
But he's clearly ahead in this fight, but this just gives Andrei Oрловский a chance to regroup and possibly pull something off in the way of submission.
Yeah, but that's going to be hard from distance, a guillotine, but you know, he's too big of a veteran for that. Break, nice break here.
Kevin really saves it. Энтони Johnson there. They want him to stay outside and just strike. He's dominating that.
Nice kicks. They come out of nowhere. And every time at the right moment, Oрловский has that defense up. The only time when Oрловский doesn't have defense is when he strikes himself. You see, even with the front kick, he drops his hands. Has to watch out for that. It needs one power shot from Johnson, and it could be over. And since Johnson never has been knocked out in his life, I assume he's got a really strong chin.
Oрловский tries a spinning back kick as we go under 2.5 minutes to go in this fight. Энтони Johnson once again gasping for air, trying to recover, and Andrei Oрловский goes into that sprawl against the cage. These guys are both just absolutely spent, boss.
You know, and it is. They threw over a lot of energy.
Yep. Boy, that first round had so much action, especially at the end of round number 1. Round number 2, not quite as quick, and here they are coming up on 13 minutes of fighting inside the World Series of Fighting cage.
Oрловsky's going to need a knockout. If he wants to do something, he's got to do it now. He's got 1:45 left, and he's got to throw out everything he's got now. If Johnson is tired, and that's the reason he's fighting like this, I would start attacking the body. Because if he's never been knocked out to the head, maybe the body will work.
Burst of life coming from Andrei Oрловский, and that just wakens up Anthony Rumble Johnson, trying to size him up, and again his corner up in arms, wondering why he would shoot when the striking was working so well.
You know what? What I do know as a fighter myself, I've been there. People don't know what's going on. Maybe he broke a hand. Maybe something is hurt. You know, there's many factors here that he's trying to play it safe at this moment. Maybe he's so simply tired, you know? But what if he hurt one of his hands? You see, all his reflexes are there. He just ducks the left hook. Or right, whatever it was.
Final 30 seconds of the night.
If Oрловsky wants to do something, he's got to do it now.
Anthony just holding on for dear life. Can he survive the final 15?
Oh. He plays it safe. Just holds. And I will ask him why he did that.
That is it. It will go to the judges. An absolute war between Andrei Oрловский and Энтони Джонсон. And this one will go to the judges here in Atlantic City, New Jersey. Well, the turning point really may have been in this fight, Boz, at the end of round number 1. An absolute fury with 15 seconds to go, and here is Энтони Джонсон turning it on. Good exchange from both.
That was the big blow there, the right hook, and another big one. And that was the bell. He was still okay. You know,
Энтони Джонson thought he had the win.
But he didn't. And it didn't demotivate him because he came out again in round number 2, and especially after the groin shot.
We will have the official decision and talk to the winner when we return to Atlantic City. Revel Ovation Hall's the site. You're watching the World Series of Fighting. Friday, June 14th, the NBC Sports Network brings you the next round of the World Series of Fighting live from Las Vegas, Nevada. The World Series of Fighting continues Friday, June 14th, right here on the NBC Sports Network. Well, a great night of fights have come to a conclusion here in Atlantic City, New Jersey. Revel and Ovation Hall have been a great host. Right now, we take a look at Andrei Oрловский and Энтони "Rumble" Johnson. This was in the first round. The pace was fast, it was furious, and at the end, it was the fury by Энтони "Rumble" Johnson that really rocked Andrei Oрловский. And the confusion was, had the bell sound before the official stepped in? The question was yes. Andrei Oрловский technically saved by the bell. He would go on to the second round and survive. And here we are, the third round complete, and the decision goes to the judges. Second round, Oрловский starting to show a little more life, having a little more success, but in the standing war of striking, it was really dominated by the combinations of Энтони Johnson. So for the official decision of the main event of the night, we send it inside, and Tim Hughes has the final word.
Ladies and gentlemen, before we give you the decision one more time, Ovation Hall, how about a big hand for both of these warriors in your main event tonight? All three judges score the bout 29-28. Krawiec, Sinclair, and Rodriguez. It is a unanimous decision for your winner, fighting out of the blue corner, Энтони Johnson.
Энтони, you're fighting great at every weight. I mean, heavyweight, you kept your speed, the bombs were landing. What was the game plan going in? I mean, Oрловский is a great technician.
Try not to get hit so hard. That was the game plan. The man hit like a ton of bricks. I have so much respect for him. He's one of my idols, you know what I mean? I watched him whenever he first got on the scene and had the title, lost the title, moved on in his career. So I'm just thankful to be able to fight another legend like Andrei Oрловский.
How demoralizing was it for you after the end of the round? You thought you won at the end of round number 1, but then they said, no, it was the bell that rang. Did that something to you, or you didn't care?
It didn't do anything to me. I was ready to go again if I had to, so.
Something seemed to happen. If you get kicked in the pills, you always go, you really bring it. What's the thing with that? Normally people don't do that.
I don't know. I just had an urge to really want to beat him up then, you know what I mean? But like you said, he's a great fighter, a great technician, and I'm just honored to be able to fight him.
What was the reason that you started clinching? We heard your corner screaming, just go for the punches. I thought maybe you did something, you hurt your hand, maybe you hurt something.
I hurt my right hand at the end of the third round. I hurt my right shin kicking him. Yeah, look, man, he's a wall. He's a train, you know what I mean? So I just doing what I had to do.
It was an unbelievable fight. Is this a weight you're going to stay at?
No, these guys like Andrei Oрловский are too big for Энтони Johnson. But, you know, if the World Series of Fighting asked me to do it, I'll do it again.
Has sparring with Tyrone Spong definitely helped you for this fight?
Yeah, my boy Tyrone Spong just knocked out Remy Bonjowski in K1, so give a big round of applause for my boy Tyrone. I want to thank my team, the Black Zillions, and Glenn Robinson and my coaches and stuff for helping me out so much and being there for me, and all my friends and my family, you know. But yeah, training with Tyrone will get you ready for the big leagues.
I know. Anthony, it's a pleasure to see you fight. It doesn't matter what weight class. Thank you very much for tonight. This was a great battle. Ladies and gentlemen, the Rumble, Anthony Johnson.